Okay, the last video left off where we had made a new shapefile of Madison County only, and we had taken the state roads and clipped them out to select roads just within Madison County. So now let me turn on the county polygon and zoom out to the full extent. First, let me show you another way to select and display only a single county or a group of counties without making a new shapefile. So what you do is go to your county polygon, either right click and choose properties or double click to get the properties window up, and we want to go to definition query. So we're going to make a query using the structured query language, again just using the push buttons. Double click on name, click once on equals, go to get unique values, and let's pick Jackson. You have to double click and say OK, and that will display only Jackson County. So this is just for the display. It does not change the original shapefile. We can go back and get rid of the definition query, and back comes our entire county polygon shapefile. Okay, let's turn off the Madison and the clipped roads. So we've got just our Kentucky shapefile. Now let's put all of the state roads in there. So this is a bit of a mess. What we want to do is choose only a few types of roads so that it's not so busy looking, and symbolize and label them for a better display and better information content. So we will go here, double click or right click and choose properties. So now let's go to Symbolizing. We want to pick categories, and we want unique values, and I'll leave you to go look through the attribute table, but as it turns out, we want root type, and nothing shows up. We want to add all of the values of root type. I don't think there are any other values, but I usually untick that so that the display isn't so messed up. I believe we want to, at the level of the state, at this small scale, I don't think we can fit Kentucky roads, so let's remove that one. Pinned is pending roads, we don't want that one. So now we have interstates, U.S. highways, and parkways. Let's double click on the line, and we'll call the interstate an expressway, and it'll be fairly wide, 3.4 points, and we'll say OK. U.S. highway, most maps show something like something in red. That seems a little fat for this scale. I'm going to make it 2.5 point instead of 3.4. You can choose what you want. Parkway, there's no particular color that I know of. I'm going to make this one dark blue and make it, let's just make it 2 points, see what that looks like. We say OK. Now there are several ways of doing this symbolization. You can select and write out new shape files for those particular roads, but this I think is the most convenient. So let's see what we get here. That looks pretty good. Now we need to add some labels. So I double click again on state roads, and now we go to labels. Now the default is that it labels all the features the same way, and it wants to label it with the road name. First, before we do anything else, make sure and tick this little box up here in the upper left so that the labels actually show up. And again, I'll leave you to experiment if you wish with the looking at the attribute table, but what we want is the shield label. We don't want to label everything the same way. We want to define classes. Whoops, it's gone back to road name. Let's pick shield label again, and let's get symbol classes, and it's got those three, the ones we have already symbolized, so that's good. What we want to do is pick a symbol, and ArcMap has some built-in symbols for highways. We will go over here and scroll down. We are on interstate, so we'll choose the interstate shield. You have to set the placement properties. It defaults to parallel to the road, which is really pretty funny looking. We'll go to horizontal. Remove duplicate labels is the default, and that's what you want so that you don't have 7 or 8 shields on a stretch of road. Alright, let's now pick US, shield label again. We'll pick the symbol, and there's a particular one for US highway. We'll pick that, and we have to set the placement properties for each and every one. It doesn't remember. It's each class will have a different one. And Parkway, there's no particular symbol that I know of for Parkway. We'll make it not interstate, not US highway, and not state. So let's just say other route highway. Alright, and again, placement properties. Remove duplicate labels. Horizontal. Okay. Okay. And this is a fairly slow, the display of these labels is rather slow, but sometimes they don't even show up. It can be somewhat frustrating, but they should show up here in a minute. There they come. Alright, that looks pretty okay, I believe. Alright, so there's how to symbolize roads. Just to walk through it one more time quickly, we go to the properties of the shapefile. We go to symbology. We want categories, unique values. We pick what variable we want and add those values and remove any that we don't want. We symbolize the roads. Then we go to the labels, and we want to define classes and make sure and turn on the labels. We define the classes, and shield label is the label that fits in the shields pretty well. And we go down to the symbol, and the highway shield symbols are down here near the bottom. Alright, I believe that'll do it. We'll let it display one more time. And again, save your work often. and that's all we need to do. I guess we can wait and watch the labels come up again, or we cannot. They are there.